Hello everybody and welcome to Matrix Live Season 2 Episode 4. Only slightly late, slightly delayed episode from Friday because we have some news.
Yes, we do. The news is finally out. We can talk at last, as of about an hour ago, about long-term funding, which is thanks to a massive investment from our dear friends at status.im, who have very, very generously gone and put $5 million into Matrix, or more accurately, they've invested in New Vector, which is the company which we've set up in order to hire the matrix.org core team. And it's a strategic investment in order to go and basically support decentralized communications and Matrix in general. Now, Status themselves are a decentralized communications and operating system company. They go and build an app called Status on top of the Ethereum ecosystem. What Status does is to act as a decentralized browser for decentralized apps which are running on the Ethereum virtual machine. So in practice, this means that you've got apps which are expressed in smart contracts on Ethereum, and they have user interfaces of different flavors, and Status is going and wrapping it all up and presenting it as a really nice user interface that normal users can use without having to understand anything about Ethereum. In fact, you can think of Status a bit like being Riot to Matrix as Status is to Ethereum, if that makes any sense.
Indeed, so happy days, as one of our dear friends would say. And the even more good news is that thanks to all these investments, we are hiring.
We are indeed. And I guess what are we going to do with the money is basically to, well, first of all, support Status and the stuff that they need from us. So this is building out things which are going to be useful to both us and Status. So, for instance, they have some end-to-end encryption already using an Olm-style ratchet. We obviously have Olm and Megolm, and we can do good stuff together. Also, obviously, we're going to be using it to further Matrix itself as a technology. And, yeah, sorry, hiring. We've got a huge list of people who we now have funding to go and bring on board in order to make both Riot and Matrix itself as sophisticated and advanced as we could possibly hope.
So basically, as a first objective, the idea is to polish everything we have, because we have lots of things out there, including all the... Starting with Riot itself, so UX, UI designers, for example, help polish and make Riot easier to use. Android devs as well to grow the team on that side.
We've got React devs for Riot Web itself and the Matrix React SDK. If you're backend folks, we really, really need help on the backend side of things. At the moment, we basically have just Rich and Eric doing all of Dendrite, all of Synapse, and it's not particularly fair on them. And now that we can actually expand folks up to work full-time on it, if you love Go, if you like Nodes, if you like Python, then please get in touch. Also, on the ops side, we're hiring a site reliability engineer, or an SRE, at last, because one of the big things which has wasted a lot of 2018 so far has been keeping matrix.org running and support and debugging the Synapse and operating the Synapse. And my God, do we need help on that? Otherwise, we never get to write any software because we just spend our lives staring at Grafana.
As well as community manager, basically keep in touch with everyone out there, help our users answer questions and communicate.
Yeah, I mean, I spent way too much time probably doing community management over the last couple of years. In the last couple of months, I haven't had as much bandwidth. And so if you're interested in working full-time on going and helping people get their federation set up, or working out why their aliases aren't in the right place, or whatever it might happen to be, then it would be enormously helpful. Also helping us get handle all of the bugs which we're getting in, especially by RaidShake on the different platforms. At the moment, Tom, who at the moment is the most overqualified desk builder that I think the world has ever seen. When Tom isn't building desks for the new office here, He's spending way too much of his life looking at RAID shakes, and some of them are amazing. We got an amazing one. It's probably a bit naughty to talk about it, but suffice it to say that some people use RAID shake as a way to express their innermost fears and horrors and sadness and woes. So it's kind of...
But we're happy to help people in that way as well.
Absolutely. Except we want to hire somebody to do it. So there we go. And then finally, on the crypto side of things, at the moment, the only person doing any end-to-end encryption on Matrix is me, and that's about 2% of my time, and this is not a good thing at all. And so the deal there is, so we want to hire a crypto specialist. So if you like end-to-end encryption, if you like decentralized end-to-end encryption, please, please, please get in touch.
Indeed. In terms of progress last week on Riot Web, the left panel performance work happens. It's getting better and better. There is a new drop and drag, which is coming all together. I think we show a preview of it a few days, like a few episodes back.
Yeah, it's really coming on nicely. There's a big PR which is blocked on me to go and merge it in properly.
On iOS, still investigating push weirdnesses and working on
it keeps getting worse in some ways.
Pushes.
Sometimes it's fine, and then, like today, we had another regression. And we haven't pushed a new build, so to speak, for the last 2 weeks. So no idea why suddenly it became flaky. That was fun. We should also say that we were basically recharging last week, and so not that much has happened other than stuff on a kind of best effort basis.
And on Riot Android, URL previews have landed on develop, as well as improvements for notifications. And we need help on Android.
We really do.
So yeah, again, Android devs, if you would like to help out here, please get in touch.
I mean, it's kind of ironic that Android is our most popular platform by about 20%, even more than web. And for the last, 4 or 5 months, it's just been unique, working on it, getting more and more frazzled and stressed, trying to deal with the huge onus of basically being a one-man band, keeping Android up to speed. So if you like Android, and if you like the Android app, we need your help, please.
Backend side for you, yeah.
Yeah, so on Synapse, a couple of things landed. In fact, for better or worse, I did some Synapse hacking. Probably for worse, if you can ask Eric and VDH. The ability to whitelist the email addresses which are allowed to create accounts on a server, which is kind of useful if you've got an enterprisey server and you say, hey, I only want people with a matrix.org email address to be able to create accounts. Also, and this was one that we've been waiting for years, is the ability to disable federation other than to specific domains. So you can have your server on the internet that literally whitelist the set of domains which it's allowed to talk to. And then finally, we've also hopefully got some breakthroughs on the horizon on state resolution performance. I heard Rich talking to Eric on when was it, Saturday, saying, I thought of an amazing hack which is going to make everything so much faster. Matthew's going to love it, except no one wants to tell me what it is, so I don't know. But hopefully it'll be amazing. Meanwhile, on Dendrite, absolutely nothing has happened because we've been worrying about Synapse. Did I mention that we're hiring Go experts to help us on Dendrite? On the bridging side of things, we do actually have an update in that we redeployed the matrix.org Slack bridge for the first time since July, thanks to erdnaxeli's maintainership. He prodded me and said, hey, I've managed a whole bunch of stuff onto the Slack bridge, can we deploy it? And I went and deployed it. So thank you very much for that. And then finally, widgets. I'll ask Rick what's happening on widgets, except as on the...
everyone, widgets are coming along great. I'm just doing the internet connection right now, so I'll be back to talk about widgets in a bit.
So yeah, Rick is busy trying to get the internet connection working on your office, as fun as...
Tethering.
Yeah, everyone's sitting here tethered to their iPhones and Android phones, which is possibly not the most amazing way to use an office, but we're going to have Wi-Fi. At the moment, it's... shall we go and show the office?
Again? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll just see where we're at today. So it's currently an IKEA graveyard. We've got our new access point. Isn't that exciting? Suspended by an open market lanyard to the duct tape there, or the ducting there. What else is going on? Basically, it's a complete tip, and at the moment it's just us four in here, but tomorrow morning it's going to have everybody from the core team hanging out in here. So we better kind of finish it tonight.
Yeah.
I mentioned I'm leaving the office in 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. So guess who is going to finish tonight the office?
I think Tom, given you're leaving in about 20 minutes. Anyway.
Yeah, but I will come back.
Is there anything else to say?
I don't think so.
We want to get the status guys on Matrix live to let them talk about status firsthand and explain more about the funding. We should also say, again, a huge thanks to everybody who has supported us for the last 6 months since we had a minor funding wobble when we parted ways with our previous corporate overlords. And yeah, basically we would have run out of runway in about September or October had it not been for the support from the community, both by Patreon, LiberaPay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, bank transfer, cash envelopes, or whatever other means that people have helped us out.
Free hosting and sponsored hosting, and
Yeah.
all the other bigger sponsors.
No, we should say
customers.
UpCloud have been amazing. Thank you, UpCloud. If you're looking for super fast, super easy international hosting, UpCloud have been amazing for us. So please consider using them rather than AWS or somebody in your next project. And we could name all the other sponsors, but you'll probably get bored, and you can look at the blog post about the funding or the front page of the website too. But in terms of donations going forwards, we are setting up matrix.org as a separate non-profit legal entity. It's not finished yet. We've been obviously frantically getting the new office, etc. sorted out, but it is pretty high on our to-do list. And your donations are going to go there in future. New Vector obviously has this cash now from Status, and so we're splitting the activity that New Vector does as a startup from the non-profit stuff that Matrix does. I guess a bit like Mozilla.org and Mozilla.com, or WordPress.org and WordPress.com, or Automatic, or whatever. So more details when we have them. The important thing, though, is that we need to protect Matrix from any kind of funding disruption in future, whether it's due to New Vector having problems or any other corporate sort of startup or company doing stuff with Matrix. So we need money, obviously, on the Matrix side to support that, independently of us. So please be assured that your donations now are going to be going into a kitty specifically for Matrix to support the foundation, and more details as we have them.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you again, everyone, and looking forward to take this one step further.
Indeed. And yeah, go and read the blog post if you haven't already that explains what's going on with the Status investment, and do let us know if you have any questions. Thanks again. Isn't Season 2 exciting?
Crazy.
Bye.
Bye, folks.